Hey everyone, today I have some pretty good news for you that's potentially groundbreaking and revolutionizes our ability to protect ourselves from our most persistent and dangerous threat. Mosquitoes transmit diseases, like the female Anopheles mosquitoes that spread the Plasmodium amoeba, which causes malaria. There was a recent experimental study in Australia performed by researchers at the CSIRO, the Commonwealth Scientific and Industrial Research Organization, in cooperation with researchers at the James Cook University. This study sought to find a way to combat the Aedes aegypti mosquitoes, which can carry the Zika virus and the dengue virus. To combat these disease-carrying pests, the researchers bred 20 million mosquitoes in their labs. They isolated the males and then sterilized them with bacteria. This is important because the bacteria can spread through the mosquito's bodily fluids. So when the researchers released millions of these sterilized male mosquitoes into the wilderness along the Cassowary coast, these males began to seek out females and to mate. Except because of the sterilizing bacteria, the eggs produced by these matings were non-viable. They never hatched, and so a huge portion of the breeding females ultimately had zero offspring. The mosquito population crashed by over 80%. That's really impressive, and it suggests that they're going in the right direction with regards to handling these disease-carrying mosquitoes. Methods like this are also important because a lot of these mosquito-vectored diseases don't have effective treatments or effective vaccines, so just preventing the initial infection in the first place is really important. More hands-on methods of clearing out mosquitoes, like draining any bodies of standing water or using a lot of pesticides to try and kill them, it ultimately ends up being impractical and unworkable, as it's just too expensive and generally too slow to overcome the mosquito's rapid reproductive rate. This technique of breeding sterile male insects and releasing them actually isn't new. It's been around for decades, but this was just the first time that it's been used against a pest as dangerous and as widespread as the Aedes aegypti mosquitoes. This method, while effective, isn't perfect. There are concerns over ecological ramifications of destroying large swaths of the insect population. For example, mosquitoes feed larger animals, like dragonflies, reptiles, spiders, and birds. And so if mosquito populations plummet, these animals might find themselves stressed for food. This could theoretically lead to cascading population crashes, as the ecology responds to the sudden drop in biochemical energy that's available at the lowest trophic levels. Attempts to solve this problem tend to focus not so much on sterilizing males, but much more on limiting the disease-carrying capacity of the females. If the females can't be host to the disease-causing microbes, then they just won't be able to spread the diseases in the first place, and the problem will be solved. But this is a whole new angle to approach the problem from, and it comes with its own host of challenges. However, there are several facts that might ease your ecological concerns. Most importantly, we have to understand the role that mosquitoes play in the ecosystem today. Decades of study on mosquitoes has found that they, by and large, aren't the primary food source of any particular predator. There's a lot of things that eat them, but nothing really depends on them. Additionally, there's several dozen different mosquito species, and there's like half a dozen of them that actually carry these diseases. So if we were to kill off 100% of those particular species that carry diseases, then there's still dozens of mosquito species that will remain, whose populations can expand to fill the ecological gap, but just without all of the deadly diseases. This would be a definite short-term solution to the mosquito problem, but it wouldn't prevent any future pathogenic microbe from evolving the ability to be transmitted through a mosquito. A microbe could always evolve to use a purportedly safe species of mosquito as a host, and thus turn that species into a disease-carrying threat to humans. More specific to this trial study, it was performed in a very limited area in the Queensland territory of Australia, while the Aedes aegypti mosquito is native to Africa. The Aedes is an invasive species in Australia, So, to quote a health research organization called Verily that helped with the study, the main ecological impact would be to restore the ecosystem to how it was before the mosquitoes invaded. Unquote. With these stunningly positive results, the researchers are pretty excited to perform more field trials, and ultimately formulate an effective way to safely and responsibly use this bacterial sterilization technique. Now just imagine what this could mean for the near future. Imagine a sub-Saharan Africa, where the people weren't so brutally punished by malaria. Any future for humanity that involves the extinction of some of these disease-carrying mosquitoes, well, that's a better future for humanity than what's happening now.